Marques Brownlee is coming under fire, and it doesn't appear that everyone is on his side this time.
Golden rule of the internet: never try to charge for something that was already free.
Is recently getting a lot of flack for a new app that he's trying to promote. Now, if you're not aware, Marques is obviously one of the most popular YouTubers on the platform. But then seeing, you know, how negative it is in the title, it's like, ooh, I gotta watch now. I gotta see how bad it is. He's also interviewed some huge players like pre-mental breakdown Elon Musk, the current CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, most recently known to Donald Trump as Tim Apple. Like, for example, Jake Paul's Team 1000 program a couple of years ago. This subscription culture has to stop. So yeah, like, he's being absolutely cooked. Is it gonna last?
Marques Brownlee is coming under fire, and it doesn't appear that everyone is on his side this time.
After teasing it on Twitter, he finally released the app, and it was a paid wallpaper app.
He just released a shameless cash grab.
Golden rule of the internet: never try to charge for something that was already free.
Is recently getting a lot of flack for a new app that he's trying to promote. Now, Marques is someone that I feel is like one of YouTube's golden boys. He basically never gets involved in any kind of drama. But recently, if you go into the comments section of his latest video, they are cooking him hard. And one thing that Marques is most popular for are very brutal reviews he does, where he straight up says, this product sucks. He's talked about Humane, Rabbit, these tech products that don't really change the game at all. They're just completely useless. Most people would avoid talking about it, or they'd say good things if they got a sponsor, but Marques, he will just straight up say, this sucks. No one liked it, mostly because Dan TDM went off on them saying how messed up it was, and then, you know, KSI clapped back in a very childish way, just showing some, like, collectible figurines that Dan made. So the entire internet has basically gone against them. There are other brands as well, like Emma Chamberlain having her coffee brand. Jacksepticeye also has a coffee brand as well. Moving into consumable products seems to be the new wave of a thing to do for YouTubers. So obviously, it was only a matter of time before Marques Brownlee threw his hat into the ring to bring out his own product. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but before this whole drama, he did actually have a previous collab with a brand called Atoms. That was a shoe collab, but to be fair, that was a collab. This, what I'm about to talk about now, is an entire brand new product made by Marques. Now, this all started back on the 22nd when Marques hinted on his Twitter account he was going to be releasing an app. And then at the same time as dropping a review of the latest iPhone, he then tweets out the announcement of his new app called Panels. Now, the app itself is fairly straightforward. It's basically just an app that has all kinds of options for wallpapers and people to choose from. I mean, personally, I never really understood the appeal of like having custom wallpapers through an app. You can just kind of get an image and then set it as a phone background. Now, one of the biggest benefits of Panels was basically artists would be able to submit their work, and then it would be a split revenue share system where the artist actually gets paid for their time. So this sources new talent, gets them to stay on the platform because they're being paid. So this sounds really, really good. What's the problem with it? The problem is, if you want to download high quality versions of any of these wallpapers, you need to pay for a premium subscription called Panels Plus. And Panels Plus, for basically a glorified wallpaper engine, is really expensive. It's $11.99 per month or $49.99 a year. That is insanely expensive. Apart from, you know, paying the fee or watching the ads, this app actually tracks a lot of your data as well as your location. Now, I'm not really sure why it does that. Maybe to sell it onto advertisers so they can make more money, or maybe they just want to make sure that you're safe when you have your orange wallpaper on. I mean, here you've got someone on Twitter basically saying, I'll be honest, I lost a bit of respect for Marques. Immediately asks to track app activity, also tracks location, has terrible design and animations, ads are absolutely everywhere, $50 a year subscription. The wallpapers aren't even that good. And then as well, apparently they were like extremely lazy with the config names when you look into the coding of the app. Like someone called Lunarscape on Twitter showing some of the code, and they are just using literally random letters. Like it literally is the equivalent of like how people on Tumblr would talk, or like women in TikTok comments, how they just like mash on the button like, oh, I'm screaming, I can't. FD. If you speak like that, you should be shot, by the way, in a video game. in a video game. And apparently the security on the app wasn't very good either. So people were actually able to steal all of the high quality versions of the wallpapers with no issues. So they didn't even need to pay. They basically just got into the back door of the app and stole everything. I think it's just another way for another YouTuber to make more money, despite the fact that they have tens of millions in the bank. But at the same time, I mean, there will be a few select members of his audience that will genuinely want to use that app, probably just to support him. And I think one of the reasons why Marques is being so cordial about this and being, you know, so self-adamant that like, yeah, okay, we did make a mistake, we've heard your feedback, is because he's known as the reviewer guy. If the reviewer guy releases his own product and then he, you know, starts like having a breakdown because people are attacking his product, then that, like, the entire mask is going to slip. So he's kind of forced into a position where he has to respond in a mature manner. But I also don't think it's forced. I think from like watching his videos, obviously I don't know the guy in person, but he always seems to be very calm, very collected. So it makes sense as to why when he's thrown into criticism, he then maintains that persona. I mean, honestly, I see two outcomes of this. One where he wins all the love and attention from the people again, and then the second one where people kind of just slowly forget about this and move on. And that's like, either of those are probably the outcome that Marques would want. I really can't see him being vilified by this. I mean, even me looking into it, like, yeah, the comments on his channel right now are absolutely roasting him, but like, it's not gonna last.